Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Wendy Ivy Martinez, also known as the Witchypreneur, and today we are going to do another tarot deck overview, walkthrough, and a final review on the deck. So the one that we are going to do today is the Luna Soul Tarot. This is made by Darren Schill and Mike Medaglia, the founders of Liminal 11. This is a Liminal 11 deck. I've had this deck for, I want to say, about a year now. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on the Liminal 11 website for, the price is right here, $24.95 US or $37.50 Canadian. So it looks like this. It comes in this beautiful box, and like a lot of the Liminal 11 decks, it has this little like flap that you open up, and then the deck just sort of slips out, and then you have a illustration that kind of goes together. It's a poor sort of memory that only works backwards by Lewis Carroll. So when you slide it out, looks like this, and then you have this, here's your cards and your guidebook. So it looks like this. Sun and the Moon, back is the Death card, and then slipping it out we have the deck. So it comes with this little cardboard piece that kind of holds everything together like that. That's what it looks like inside. There's also a pattern inside. Always make sure, if you have this deck, always make sure, because there's usually a card that gets stuck, and so you have that little cardboard separator that separates everything, the guidebook from the cards, and kind of puts everything together, keeps everything together. So here's the deck. And then we have the guidebook. So a lot of Liminal 11's decks, they have these little guidebooks that are hardcover. It says instructional booklet. So you open it up, you have a beautiful pattern on both ends. And then it is a fully illustrated book that has a introduction, and then it goes through the major arcana, again fully illustrated. Has what the card's about and then a little quote. So for example, we have the Hanged One. It is the spear that both pierces you to this moment and propels you forward. And then you have the two exclusive cards. You have Woo-wee and you have Duality. These are exclusively to the Luna Soul Tarot. You have Woo-wee, which is to act in accordance with destiny. Nothing is simpler, nothing is harder. And then you have the Duality, which is the wind settles the seed of opposition at the zenith of self-assurance as we turn and we grow. And then we go into the minor arcana. Gives you a little rundown on the suits, and then we start with the suit of wands. From the suit of wands we go to the cups. From the cups we go to the swords. And then from the swords, we go to the discs, which are also pretty much the suit of pentacles. A few gentle tips. And then we have a few spreads. We have a 4-card spread here. Past, present, future, advice, or positive, negative result advice. We have a relationship spread. The Celtic Cross. The Luna Soul spread. And then we have some final artwork here. between, this is in between black and white is not great. It is all the colors in the world. So that's that. And then let's go ahead and get started with the cards. So starting off with the cardstock, these are the back of the cards. I've always loved the backs. They are stunning. They show that duality, the light and then the dark, the sun, the moon, the clouds, and the stars. These, I've always liked the quality of Liminal 11 as well. Their cardstock is a little bit thicker, but because of the smoothness and the mateness, they're able to it's really easy to shuffle. If you're doing the gypsy shuffle, it's very easy to, they can bend, but feel a little bit more sturdier than other decks. For example, the Rider-Waite deck is a lot thinner than this one. I love the matte cardstock. So let's go ahead and do a flip through of these while I give you the review of the deck. So we're starting off with the Major Arcana, so the Fool card. This deck, as you can see, has a lot of like nature based, a lot of like pastel colors, which I really, really love. I've always been a fan of pastels. I love that each and every card is full of symbolism and that there's a lot of diversity among the decks. You know, we have people from all walks of life, all shapes and colors and sizes. I love that it still very much mimics the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, but also giving it its own style, its own additional form of symbolism, which is why I think it's really awesome to own more than one deck, because even though each deck pretty much has the same cards, right? It's the same cards over and over again. How the detail that they put in the illustrations, the different symbols that they use, if you do intuitive readings in combination with traditional or just strictly do intuitive readings, you can get a completely different reading from one deck to another. So even though it is the same sort of cards, you can get something completely different. This deck I like to use a lot. I like to use this on my clients a lot. It's one of my most used decks. I think pretty much all of Liminal 11's decks happen to be my go-to. I've never found a Liminal 11 deck that I didn't resonate with. I think they all speak they have like such a high vibration. I feel very in tune with them. I feel like I give really good readings. I feel like they're very detailed for the most part. And not only that, but I feel like their decks, this one specifically, also is with the pastels, it can have a softer feeling when it comes to readings. So if you are doing a client for the very first time, right? Or, you know, they're very new to tarot, or you're very new to tarot and you're giving yourself a reading, you obviously want to get cards that aren't going to feel too heavy. And you might want to get cards that seem like they sugarcoat things a little bit, you know, like they still give it as it is. I mean, it is a tarot deck, but it doesn't feel as intense. Even, for example, the Three of Swords here. This deck, this card specifically, can range from blood dripping out, symbolizing heartbreak. And then you have this, which, yes, you get the message, right? There's rain, it's sad, but it's still so beautifully done that it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like something negative. So even if there is a message in here that you're giving a client that seems a little bit heavy, you know, it's not going to scare off your client. It's not going to scare you off, for example, either, you know, because it gives it a little bit more of like a lighter tone. while still getting the message across. The Ten of Swords can be a really terrifying card too, but you can see that it's still saying the same thing that the traditional Ten of Swords means, which is like, okay, you hit rock bottom, but growth is coming from it. And you can see that there's flowers growing from this person. And I like that you can tell which element is suited with which minor arcana. For example, swords resonates with the element of air, and you can see from the cards, obviously, that this resonates with the air element. The air element. Then we have discs, which resonates with earth. You can see there's a lot of nature. Because that one, again, discs or pentacles are all about, you know, they resonate with earth. So you can see what I mean here with the color scheme, with the symbolism, with the illustrations. Even though you can still give a client a little bit of a harsher message, I should say, it's not going to be something that scares the client away. You know, sometimes you can pick a deck and a client will be like, oh my gosh, what does that card mean? But you can see that this isn't going to scare them too much. It's not going to have them come to conclusions while they're getting a reading with you, because the last thing you want is for a panicked client that won't take the message that you're giving them. And it just keeps them calm, basically. And if you're new to tarot, this is another one that would be great if you want something that's a little bit more light. You know, you're not sure what's going to come through. Maybe you're a little scared when starting the tarot because you've heard negative things, etc., on what the tarot is, blah, blah, blah. This is a great one to start with. And then again, cups, element of water, and that is very clear and prominent with these cards. Okay, lastly, we have our exclusive cards, which is Duality. Stunning card. And then we have Wu-Wei, or Wu-Wei, I hope I'm saying that right. So overall, this is a deck that's very sturdy. It's lasted me very long. My clients love it. I love it. I think it's a good bang for your buck for $24.95, and it comes with all of this included, including an illustrated, fully colored illustrated booklet. Is definitely like a plus. I don't really use the booklets, but I know there's a lot of people that do. So that, I love this deck. 5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend. For beginners, this is great for beginners to advanced. And this is a great deck for, I'm recommending this for people that want a lighter, fluffier tone when it comes to readings. So if you want to give a message, but you don't want it to come off too intense, this is going to be the perfect deck for you. And I'll make sure to put those points in like text so you can see them. So that is it, you guys. That is the Luna Soul Tarot. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. I make videos about tarot. I do walkthroughs like this one, which I'm going to start doing more often. I teach you how to do the tarot. I'm actually going to be coming out with a tarot course, hopefully sometime this year, if not the beginning of next year. And I also make videos all about spirituality, witchcraft, and the paranormal. So if any of those things or all of those things sound great to you, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!